Hi and welcome back to another video of JPlay. I am Marcus and today should be a rather short one because I am kind of, let's say, walking you through the latest installment of the Mindbug series, which is this box here, the Battlefruit Kingdom box, which is currently very successfully or has successfully launched on GameFound. And there are basically two standalone boxes. Of course, you can mix and match these boxes with any of the base game or with any of the other expansions here. There is also the Battlefruit Galaxy box here and a new add-on pack for a four-player game, which I cannot really show you, but I have received some cards, basically a prototype from the four-player team game that is. And yes, NerdLab Games has kindly provided me this review copy or preview copy here of the game, and there is even more because you can basically win a small box of Battlefruit Kingdom. So they have kind of sponsored this giveaway on my channel, so if you want to win this, then definitely I think I will come to that a little bit later in the video. So yeah, I think let's keep the tension up a little bit. What you can see here are the two, I think, new Mindbugs. It doesn't really matter too much. So we have Sir Squillberry here, really amazing artwork as usual. And on the other side, we have Lady Leaflove here. But again, you can play with any of the Mindbugs you would prefer to play them with. But again, it's a standalone game, which is kind of cool. And yeah, you don't really need to worry about any base games, or it's really not a collectible card game. You can extend it if you want, but it really stands, or each box more or less stands on its own. In Mindbug, you are basically trying to drive down your opponent to 0 life points. So each player starts the game with 3 life points. In theory, you can have an infinite amount of life points, and it's not unusual that you go basically above your starting life point value, but there are other ways how you can also win or lose the game. And it's very similar in a team game, but maybe I will come to that a little bit. Each player, basically we are all playing from the same deck of cards. So this is simply the deck of cards that comes with the game that is shuffled together. Each player gets their own draw pile of 10 cards. And this is basically our starting hand from those. So there is no such thing as deck building, deck construction whatsoever. You shuffle everything together. You want to shuffle together. You hand out a deck of cards to each of the players. And then you basically have to live with what you get. So again, if life gives you a lemon, you try to do lemon juice out of this. And I really enjoy this. I'm totally terrible at deck building or deck construction in games like Lord of the Rings or things like that, which is why I really like the notion or the approach in this one here. And again, those two Mindbugs, they're not really life points. They have a certain function within the game, which is also rather unique for a game like this, I must say. And I really enjoy this because it really gives you a lot to think about basically when you are playing your cards. And maybe I will simply walk you through 1 or 2, 3 rounds just to let you know what this game is all about, just in case you don't know what Mindbug really is. When it is your turn, you either play a card from your hand and then you automatically refill your hand. So you will always have basically 5 cards in your hand, unless you are running out of your draw pile, then you're no longer drawing cards. Or you attack with a creature that you have already played out a round before. If you can't do neither, you have also automatically lost the game. The values here on top are simply, let's call it strength points. They're not related to anything like cost or whatsoever. You can play any card in theory in front of you. So in this case, we could say I immediately want to start with Tomageddon here. Again, artwork on these cards is amazing. And yeah, this comes with a special effect like this one here. Or here we have the Lich King, really hilarious actually, which comes with a new harvest mechanic here. And I think this is something I want to showcase to you. I'm not sure if this is the best card to start with, because if I go out with a very strong card like this one here, it's very unlikely that my opponent will take this away from me. So we might want to say, okay, let's go and start with a Jerrybug here. It's a very small one. It's only 1 strength point. It comes with a keyword here. So when this card is being defeated, if this was defeated in combat, take control of the creature that defeated this. I think this is not a bad card to start the game with. So this is what I will do. I will play this card now in front of me. And now my opponent has 2 options. They can either let it slide and say, yeah, that's fine, I'm okay with that. Or they can use one of the 2 very, very valuable Mindbugs here, in this case, Lady Leaflove. in order to take control of this creature. So if they don't like that I have this card in front of me, I would then basically, yeah, I would hand over control to my player. So again, Leaf could say, no, I want this card in my possession, I will take it over, and that's basically that. But then we are basically down to only one. So we can do that, or the player can only do that once more. And from what I have seen from these cards here, there is nothing that would gain you these back. I'm not even sure if there are cards that allow you to regain some of your Mindbugs. I could imagine in some of the expansions or so there might be something, but yeah, I believe this is not a thing in this expansion box here. But I think in this case they are saying no, that's basically the other option, and say, ah, that's totally okay with me. This discard doesn't really hurt me too much. If they would have taken control of that card, and this is again something I have already forgotten, I played this card, I should have drawn up to 5 cards right off the bat. So here we have the Avocado Gunner, comes with a Frenzy and the Tough ability. And again, Frenzy allows you to keep on attacking if your first attack didn't kill you, and the Tough one is more or less, let's call it a shield. So when this creature is taking damage, you're tapping it to indicate, okay, this guy has taken some damage. So it pretty much has 2 life points, that is. But again, what I wanted to say is, if my opponent would have taken this away from me, then it would be my turn again. This more or less then counts for their turn. But in this case, that was already my action, and now it's over to my opponent. So again, that's why I'm not doing a full playthrough of this game, because yeah, it would be really pointless. But let me see what they're going to play. And just to show you as much as possible, I think they're going to play this card here, Captain Crocodile. This time I won't forget, they have played a card. They are drawing up to 5 cards if they can, and Captain Crocodile does come with this new harvest ability. So as soon as you play this card in front of you, you're placing 1 harvest token on that, and in the start of your next turn you are removing 1 of those tokens, and if that would have been the last token, then you are basically kicking in, or the harvest ability kicks in. In this case, Gain to Life is amazing. It comes with a Frenzy ability and is a Strength 8 card. This one is a very tough one, quite honestly. So I guess in this case I will use my Mindbug, Sir Squiddleberry here. So it's pretty much out of the game, but I'm taking this one over. It definitely comes with a harvest token, but this also means that my opponent gets another turn. So again, I have to check what they're going to play. And in this case, I think, yeah, let's do that. They are going to play the Artemist. So again, I will not forget to draw another card. And the Artemis also comes with a very nasty harvest ability. So first of all, we will have to place the harvest tokens here accordingly. You win the game. And this was something that this player did deliberately, basically sending out a bait before a strong card. So I was going to use one of my valuable Mindbugs, and in this case, I really don't know if I want to use Sir Squiddleberry again or not, because it would be my last Mindbug for the entirety of the game. I think I would have a very strong lineup, but whatever I do, it's very likely that my opponent, Lady Leaflove, is taking things away from me. So I guess in this case, again, and I will not play through an entire game anyway, I think I will let it slide. And so it's pretty much over to me. Again, I have to either play a card or I have to attack with one of my creatures. First things though, start of my turn, I will have to remove 1 of my harvest tokens. So this harvest ability kicks in. Usually these only kick in once when they are played, and then if they could come back also, then yes, they could trigger again. But in this case, I will simply take 2 more life points. So yes, you're just using the leftover cards that weren't used in this session here respectively. And then I have to take my action, and honestly, I think what I have to do now in order to stand any chance, I will have to start attacking, because if it's their turn, brutal things will happen unless I have some cards in my hand which come with a cool play ability. And I think I think not. This one here, the Lichikin, would be something worth considering, because then I know I have to force their hand. But if I play this one, I'm 100% sure that my opponent will take this card away from me. I'm 100% sure I would play it this way. So I think in this case, because I don't really have a good card that would give me, so I don't know, here's something actually. No, this has a play effect. So if I play this, I would be allowed to play another card from my hand. It wouldn't be an attack actually, but at least I would bring out some cards. The thing is though, again, the same thing could happen. If I play this card, my opponent would take it away from me, and then they would play this effect here. So they would be allowed to play 2 cards, and then he would be in a good position to protect his Artemist here, because sooner or later he has to sacrifice a card in order not to take a damage. So I think not. I will not play any cards this turn. I will attack, and in this case it could have been already a problem for my opponent, quite honestly. So I think, yeah, that's getting pretty brutal for him. So I will attack with Captain Crocodile. My opponent now has the chance to decide if they want to send something in the defense, in this case the Artemist. The Artemist is pretty cool. Yes, he would win the game with this card if that would still be here after, I think, 5 more rounds, right? But because this is also poisonous, it would defend the damage and would also kill the creature here, because again, usually the stronger creature will simply defeat the weaker creature in this case. So what am I going to do? Am I going to play with that or not? The thing is, I already am in the lead with 5 and my opponent knows that. On the other hand, if he doesn't defend right now, I'm taking 2 points worth of damage here, because this frenzy ability, if he's still alive, he will simply attack again. And then Lady Leaflove would be down to only 1 life point here. But we could really try to play that game. On the other hand, I'm relatively certain that if I don't defend now, I think that's pretty bad actually. No, I think I have to defend. So I'm sending this guy to a defense. So Captain Crocodile would now kill that. If they wouldn't blocked it, I would have lost 1 life point, but no excess damage is carried over or so. It's simply 1-to-1 damage in this case. So yes, he's sending this to the defense. Normally 8 versus 4, the Artemist would be dead, but because the Artemist is also poisonous, Captain Crocodile is also dead, and they go to their respective discard piles of those players, because there are cards which allow you to take these guys back. So I think overall this wasn't a terrible thing, because I was able to gain some life points here, and yeah, I think this threat has been annihilated here. Nicely done. Now it's over to Lady Leaflove. Again, they can't attack because they don't have any cards in their hands, so they have to play another card. And I believe in this case they are going to play the Fennel Trickster, who is sneaky, which means he can only be blocked by another sneaky character. And this guy says, while you have 2 or fewer cards in hand, so right now we have a lot of cards, because again, whatever happens when we play a card, we will draw up. But maybe he will be around for a little bit longer. But it's still a 2 and it's sneaky, so he can attack with that, and I couldn't defend. Again, I have to make a call if I want to take this over or not, but I think not, because again, I have enough life points. So even though if he does attack me twice, actually, I would only go down to my starting life value, basically. So I think in this case, let's not do that. So this was their turn done, and now it's basically back to me. Again, I could attack with my Cherry Bug here if this card would have been defeated. So if he's sending defenses in there, I will take control of the Fennel Trickster. So that's, again, never a bad thing. But I guess in this case, I want to play another card, which is the Avocado Gunner. I already showed this to you. It's Frenzy, and it's tough, so it has 2 life points. And when I attack with this one, defeat an enemy creature with power 5 or less. So in this case, I could easily get rid of the Fennel Trickster. So I think in this case, yes, no, I will not do that. But of course, I forgot I have to draw up, and that's the Pineapple Paladin. Wow, also a new keyword, fast attack. So basically this is someone you can directly play or attack with when they're playing. Very strong card, and I think this is also, yeah, the title hero basically. And again, yeah, I think in this case Lady Leaflove cannot let this one happen, because then we know we are losing our Fennel Trickster fairly soon. So I guess in this case, let's play our Mindbug. We are taking over control of the Avocado Gunner. Again, nothing immediate that would happen, but it's basically our turn again. And now I am going to play the Pineapple Paladin in front of us, just to force the hand a little bit, because my opponent now really sees, okay, this is a fast one. It would attack right away if they're not taking control of that. And if they attack, I will gain a life point. So this is really an ultra strong card. And I think the perfect response to a lost Mindbug from my opponent in this case. So, but this is so strong. And again, I forgot to draw up actually, and that's the Raspberry Ranger. Hunter and Tough, also a very nice card. But yeah, I think in this case, let's build up. We are losing our Pineapple Paladin, and I think I can do that. That's something I quickly checked. I think you can also more or less Mindbug the second guy away, because it's simply a new turn. And because it's, again, it's a fast ability, they will immediately attack if they want to. But I totally know what will happen if we attack now with a Pineapple Paladin. We will get 1 life point. That's good. Or the opponent gets a life point. The thing is, with my Cherry Bug, if this guy is defeated, and we will use this card to defeat from the attack of the Pineapple Paladin, we will get it back, and then my opponent has spent the Mindbug in vain. So I think we are not going to do that, and we don't have to do that. It's still our turn now, and I know the opponent is now out of Mindbug, so that's not too terrible. And I think now it's the perfect time to play our Lich King, which comes with a harvest ability. So we are placing 2 harvest tokens on there. If we're removing the second one, basically after 2 more rounds, the opponent loses 1 life. Not too shabby, of course. Let's draw up. And again, our draw pile is only 10. It's a very, very quick game, by the way. And here we have Okra, Shaman, Frenzy, and Tough. This has also playability. You may lose 1 life if you do play a card from any player's discard pile. Oh, in this case, if we would we can successfully play this fella, because we know our opponent doesn't have any more Mindbugs. So in this case, we could bring the Artemist to our side, basically, because yeah, it says play a card from any player's discard pile. Okay, not too shabby at all. But I think you have a fairly good understanding of the game now. That's more or less all that there is. But of course, there are a lot more cards in these decks. And if you own some of the other, or the core box, or the first box, or the expansion, you have endless variety in various effects that this game has to offer. Anyway, again, it's ultra quick, usually doesn't take longer than maybe 10-15 minutes or so. Yeah, of course you can play it with someone who's suffering from analysis paralysis, and in case you missed it, I have uploaded a video on that too. A music video by that, definitely go check it out. But anyway, that's basically all I wanted to show you in respect to the gameplay. Maybe let's have a quick look at the overview here, which is basically the new keyword here, which is fast. And I really don't know what if Frenzy was a new one, or is it, if it has been added in this one here. It sees here it's only a new keyword that is fast. This creature may attack or activate its action. I think I have showed this to you or demonstrated this to you to some extent. We have the Hunter one. When attacking with this creature, you may choose an enemy creature which must block it, so also a very good way. So for example, if I'm using my Raspberry Ranger for an attack, I could really decide, hey, I want that you are using Fennel Trickster here to defend from this attack, to make sure that this sneaky fella is out of here. Really a ton of very interesting keywords. I already showed you the harvest ability, so yes, this game does come with some punch out tokens here, and I think from what I heard, this is new for this game. Usually you really, all that you need for the base game is a deck of cards, which yeah, you're using also for your life point tracker. And yeah, that's basically all in respect to the keywords, in respect to some of the new cards that you can see. The one piece I wanted to have a quick look at are some of the new cards that will facilitate team play here. So we have Tried Fig Alien. Attack each opponent, gives a card from their hand to the player to the left. And the way how this works is it's then a 4-player game, and you always sit in an alternating fashion. So between you and your teammate, there will always be one opponent, which is then making these kind of things making sense. You are, from what I understand, sharing a life point pool of 3. I think the game suggests that each player will get their own set of 2 Mindbugs, so you basically need 2, let's call it core sets here respectively. And again, the idea is still to more or less kill all the other players. I think you have 3 cards and you divide them between the 2 of you or so. That's at least my understanding. But there are the, I think they're calling it experimental rules now on their website, which you can freely check out. Here we have the pair Martians. Your teammate reveals a card, defeat a creature with power equal to the revealed card. So there are really some effects which you can also use. So there is even some interaction between those 2 players, which seems, and there are also some minor, let's call it clarifications on some of the existing cards when you're playing the team game. And here we have the popcorn monster and the artwork on those cards. Really amazing stuff. And it's a hunter, and this can only hunt creatures from the player on your left. So yeah, introducing some, let's say, interesting tweaks here in respect that you basically have to oblige to certain rules. But that's basically all I wanted to share with you in respect to the latest installment of Mindbug, Battlefruit Kingdom. Go check it out on GameFound. Yes, you will find a link to the campaign in the description of this video. Now you want to know how you can win this copy of the game, Battlefruit Kingdom, that is. The campaign, I believe, is still, while I'm recording this, 2 weeks, which way you can still back it. And I think I will go for Friday next week. I will flash the dates in here. I have to really check that now. 8 p.m. in the evening, Central Europe time. And send an email to pineapple@joysticks.de. You will find the email address now flashing up here. I will not put it into the description of this video. Yes, you have to watch the video. Put Battlefruit Kingdom in the subject line. I will then draw a lucky winner at the end of the next week. Again, it's Friday evening, my time. And don't send me an address or so, just an email, maybe with a quick name. I will reach out to the winner and will then ask for an address. Of course, I will cover shipping. If you happen to live in a country, I am allowed to ship too. There are only very minor exceptions to that, but yeah, things can happen. You know what I'm talking about. Crazy days right now. And yeah, before I forget, huge shout out to all of my patrons and channel members. You guys are truly amazing. Can't tell you how much I appreciate all your support. And yeah, with that being said, hope to see you soon in one of my other videos. And until then, bye bye.